So, it came to my attention that I should be using 220 to take off the top of the orange peel, if I got any, and then continue on in more fine grade sandpapers. So, I overdid it with the 220, but according to that advice, but I didn't blow through anywhere, so not even on edges. I was very light with the pressure. So I'm going to move on to 400 and then maybe 600. We'll see how this evening goes and see how this side turns out. This side I'm going to do with 220 as I was instructed or was suggested to me, and then, the 4 and 6 and see what happens. So I'll have a side-by-side comparison, because that's what you want on your car. You want one side to look different than the other. We'll just see what it looks like. Worst case scenario, I reprime. And at this stage in the game, that's not the most terrible thing. So that's what's up. So this is before. So that's 220 right there. Okay, 220. This is 400. So a bit more of a reflection. And let's see. Can I get any details to focus? Probably not, because they're so fine. Well, there you go. A bit of a low spot there. So 400. I am going to reshoot this because I am uncertain how thick the build is, and I broke through at a tiny spot on the back. Yeah, right there, right next to a low spot. So I should also say that I started sanding my 400, and that just gums up at the 2K super fast. So I was like, well, what the hell, I'll try it wet. And it was taking the material off, and I was using a spray bottle to rinse the sandpaper off every, I don't know, it was like 30 seconds it seemed, maybe even less. And it was getting quite a bit of material off, and then I would wipe the panel off using this as a squeegee, and then I would spray more water on. Always clean water on the panel and always clean water on the sandpaper. I just had this bucket to soak it in. So all my stuff went on the floor. So it is messy, but it's not slower. And this is one piece of dry, and I couldn't get it clean. Even brushing it out and smacking it out, it was like, well, that didn't last very long. I'm going to go through a whole pack in about 5 minutes. So that lasted, I don't know, three times across the hood, and that's it, or deck lid. And that lasted probably 20 minutes. I was able to do everything up to that edge. That's where I decided, I gotta reshoot this. So anyway, I am gonna sand the other side just to see where I get, and then probably reshoot the whole thing. So, and maybe I'm doing the wet sanding at the wrong time or whatever, but it's getting material off and making the sandpaper last longer. So that's why I'm sticking with it. Alright, so excuse me. I sanded this side according to the advice I had received, And you'll see I didn't cut down as much. I was much more aggressive with the 220 over here, hence the smooth lack of low spots. And this is deceiving because I was going up on the tape. So I'm going to skip the tape next time and just brave it. But there are some spots. You can see it looks like tiger striping this way. That's not really tiger striping because I went this way with the spray gun. But what I think that is high spots and some low spots that were sanded that still have 220 scratch in them. So yeah, getting an appreciation for what this stage entails. And the kind of sanding I was doing before on the rest of the car is pretty much half-assed compared to this. So I am going to recoat this, and I'm going to try to put on lighter coat of primer with more overlap, if those two terms aren't contradictory, to try to get as smooth an application of primer as possible, and I'll go with the more cautious sanding. So I was going to do action shots and I forgot, and it's probably just as well because this is long. So I'll do action shots of both priming and sanding when I get to that point.